Next section in this unit looks at population size. Population size is how many of one particular type of plant or animal there are in a habitat. But the population of a particular organism doesn't just keep on rising. In fact, sometimes something happens and the population, rather than rising, goes into free fall and starts declining. In the next clip, try and note down the factors that are affecting the size of the barn owl population.
Barn owls like this are under threat. They're not producing enough young to keep the species going. I'm here to investigate what's being done about it.
So why aren't barn owls producing enough young?
Well, to understand that, we've got to look at their food chain.
OK. At the bottom you've got grass, and that's eaten by small mammals like voles and mice, and the voles and mice are in turn eaten by the barn owls.
Yes, but it's the number of small mammals that's so important.
Right, because the number of small mammals will directly control the number of owls that can live in a given area.
Exactly.
So why is there such a shortage of small mammals? I mean, there's hardly a shortage of grass. It's everywhere.
Yes, but it's not the quantity, it's the quality of rough grass. If we look at this area here, it's all short, close-cropped, well-grazed, and voles can't make their nests, they can't make their runs, and they can't hide.
So as this grass is too short for small mammals to live in, it means there's not enough food for owls. So the owls won't breed.
Yes, they won't breed, and the species will die out.
So what the owls need to do is move to an area where hunting can be made more efficient. Well, somewhere suitable for small mammals.
Yes, come on, I'll show you.
I guess that means grassland that would give them good cover.
Well, this meadow is excellent because there's this rough, tussocky grassland here. Well, I'm sure if we look hard, we might find vole run. Yeah, here we are. Here, look. Here's a vole run, and in here are the small clippings of grass, which is their food store. So this area's alive with small mammals.
Colin's put an owl box here as there are no natural nesting places in the area. These are young owls, which shows the parents are breeding. They're checked to make sure they're growing into healthy adults. It won't be long before they fly off for good, and soon they'll be starting families of their own to continue the species.
Have you noted down the two factors here that are affecting the size of the barn owl population? You should have found that the owl population is decreasing because of a lack of food supply. The habitat of the small mammals they feed on is disappearing, and there were few suitable nesting places, so artificial owl boxes have been put up. The size of a population is controlled by three major factors: adaptation, competition from other species for food, water and shelter, and predation, that is, being eaten as food by animals further up the food chain. A tip on remembering these things is to draw a triangle and put the population size in the middle. The three controlling factors are added to the sides: adaptation, competition and predation. Predators themselves are affected by these things, particularly their own food supply, their prey. But how? This is a classic example of a predator-prey cycle. If the hare population increases, this supplies more food for the lynx, the predator. This results in an increase in the lynx population. However, more lynx results in less hares, which in time results in less lynx again. These fluctuating population sizes are typical of lots of predator-prey relationships. The population size of any species is controlled by three main factors: adaptation, how well the species is suited to its environment; competition, how successful species are in competing with other species for the same resources, food, water or shelter; predation, how predators affect the size of the population and how many there are. Remember, in the last section we showed you this food web in a typical British river. The question is, what would happen if the minnows were removed? Three things will happen, so 3 marks have been awarded for this answer. Why not pause the tape and have a think about it? Well, if the minnows were removed from this food web, 3 things would happen. 1. The tadpoles won't get eaten, so their numbers will increase. 2. Water beetles will get eaten more by hungry perch who haven't got minnows to feast on. And 3. The waterweed will increase as the number of minnows eating it will decrease. The relationships in these food webs can get quite complicated. If you weren't sure of the answer, why not rewind and go over this section again?